There is, unfortunately, in this world, a different way of looking at women and men and giving credibility many times automatically to men and not to women. And then it's only after women have to prove themselves over and over and over that they then get the credibility.
How long do you feel that it took you to get comfortable in that balance point, both as a leader and as a woman leader?
My parents will tell you that I thought I was a leader when I was 2 years old. Clearly I was not, but I had leadership skills that they fortunately honed for me, and they did that by leading by example. In terms of my personal career, it took me a number of years to recognize all of the many and varied facets of leadership.
What were you like as a 2-year-old?
I really thought that parents were just too bossy.
And did you always want to be in a leadership position for your career?
Yeah, I have always wanted to lead. I knew I wanted to be a physician from the time I was 2, my parents tell me, and then the opportunity to become a CEO was presented to me, and I've now done that and accomplished that. So there's really no limit to my dreams and abilities. I think the one thing that's most important for me is making sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm making a difference in the lives of others.
Leadership is difficult on its own, adding this whole other layer of women in leadership. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, it's almost like walking a tightrope, Adam. You're expected to be all things to all people, to mentor people, to do your job, to make sure you're a friend to everyone, make sure you're approachable. What you really want to do is just lead and make a difference. So you just have to almost push out all of the other distractions, because it can be very distracting and it can be very demoralizing in many ways. As a woman in leadership, there are many opportunities where people give you what I might call unsolicited advice. There have been many, many men who I have worked for who have basically thought that by putting me in the leadership role, they could tell me exactly what to do. And that doesn't work, and it's particularly disturbing when it's a man who really isn't qualified to give me that level of direction.
How do you have that conversation with somebody to push back, because this person has put you in that role?
You know, as women, we often feel that if we speak up, that it may in some ways derail us, but I think it is your responsibility to let your supervisor know how you'll get to the goal line, but I think it's also your responsibility to let them know that you don't need to be led there. There are so many women out there that are doing tremendous things in leadership and that don't really need a lot of remedial support.
Of course.
They just need the opportunity and the access to lead. But when you do get that opportunity, it is important to make sure that when you're speaking, you're saying something. You also need to make sure when you're working and you're completing a project, you do it great. And then, you know, if there are naysayers out there, they have so much less to talk about.